Hi guys, sorry for the delay. I've just been really having an off week. So let's get started. But thank you guys for submitting your questions, and now it's time for me to answer them. Okay, first of all, the first question is my name. My name is Kristen. Hi. And also, what I'm going to do is get into the meds that I've been taking, which I've been trying to do for the longest, but I kept forgetting. So we're going to start with basically how this goes. I'm going to really get into detail of how how the cycle works. Basically, what happens is they want to control your cycle, so they'll know when to unfreeze the eggs. Yeah, will thaw the eggs, so they'll know when to. It's all based on timing, so they'll know when to transfer them. The first thing I do is I take birth control pills. I know you're wondering, why are you taking birth control pills if you're trying to get pregnant? I don't take them the whole time. I take them for maybe about 2-3 weeks, and that's just to regulate my cycle. Then once I stop taking my pills, kind of every med that I take, it kind of overlaps another one. So I'm taking my pills, and then I start taking my Lupron shots, which is this. Do this, and with the needle, everyone knows what needles look like. I have to do one of these a day. I usually try to do it around my belly button area, and I alternate sides. So I do that for maybe 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I'd say about 2-3 weeks. And once I start taking them, I'm still on my pill, and then I stop my pill, and then I start doing, or I continue on with the Lupron shots. Then I overlap after so on. When it's almost time for me to stop taking my Lupron shots, then I start overlapping with my estradiol. This is estradiol. Yes, estradiol. And I take these 3 times a day, and they look like this. Get one out. They're these little bitty blue pills, little blue pills, that I take 3 times a day. Then, once it gets closer to my transfer day, then I start taking Endometrium, which comes in a box like this. And it comes with these because they have to be inserted vaginally, which is totally disgusting. Oops. And it comes in a little pack like this, and you take it 3 times a day, so it's convenient. So you're just using this and use 3 of these. You don't use the same one over and over again. You use 3 of these. And then once I have my transfer, I still have to take these along with my estradiol until I am told not to. When I actually did my last transfer and I had a positive pregnancy test, my hormone levels were still a little low, and so they prescribed me this, which is progesterone capsules, which I had to take 1 time every night before I went to bed, and they look like this. And yet they make you take them before bed because they make you really sleepy, which is awesome because I have weird sleeping schedule. I'm a night person. So I just did that, and then once, because I haven't had like a full lasting pregnancy, once I get the negative test done, then they immediately make me stop taking all of my pills, which then brings on my cycle. Yay. So, get that out of the way. And basically what the pills, these pills, the estradiol and the endometrium do, which is kind of weird that I've been doing this for so long and I wasn't quite sure what they did. Why, I don't know. I guess I just trusted the doctor. Hey, this is what I have to do. I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm not going to ask any questions. But I just found out recently that what they do is they kind of act like almost like a birth control pill, because your birth control pill controls your cycle, and it doesn't cause your lining to thicken for you to get pregnant. That's what the eggs stick to. What they do is they keep you from ovulating, but they make the lining of your uterus thick so the egg can stick on there. So that's what they do. I wasn't quite sure about what they did. The Lupron I'm not really quite sure about, but okay, maybe someone can tell me. And I think that's about it on my meds, which I'm finally getting to you guys. Scrambling around over here. Now I'm going to get into your questions. I'll go into a little bit about me. Like I said, my name is Kristen. I'm 29 years old. My birthday is in November, so I am a Scorpio. I have 2 little girls. My youngest, Peach, she will be 2 in June, and Puka Bear will be 5 in July. They're so big, as you guys have seen. They're tall girls, and they need to get jobs ASAP. But first question is, what are my thoughts on egg donation? I think that's awesome because we produce so many, and a lot of them just go to waste. If you feel up to that and you don't mind doing that, I think that's awesome. Me personally, I can't do that because the thought of possibly there being a lot of little mini-me's going around the world that I have no clue about doesn't make me feel very comfortable. I'm very motherly, yes, that's the word, and if I have a child, I want to see that child. I want to keep the child. So me personally, I probably could not. I highly doubt I could do something like that. If I wasn't so attached to my eggs, I could probably do that, but it's not something I can see myself doing. Especially if I could see myself being a donor, then I would do that, but I would never be a donor and actually carry my own child. I can't do that, because then you're basically giving your child away, and I can't. I'm not strong enough to do that. That's not something I could do. And would you still have done surrogacy if I had not had my own kids? If I hadn't had my own kids, I'm not sure, because my ideas on pregnancy would be a little different because I hadn't experienced it for myself. Me personally, I've had the best 2 pregnancies ever, and I say that because it was the happiest times of my life. I felt it was just the perfect little accessory. I was always happy. My clothes looked totally different on me. I didn't have horrible morning sickness. I didn't have any of the horror stories that I hear about. When I read them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what happened? Because I don't have those problems. When I was pregnant with Puka Bear, I was still working at the time, and I was still wearing my heels to work. I remember I was walking, my lunch breaks were an hour. I used to walk around the parking lot for the hour in my heels like it was nothing. And it was just all stomach in the front. There was funny because there was 2 instances that I remembered when I was in the mall with my mom, and a guy would start talking to me from behind me. And then, as he comes alongside of me face to face to talk to me, he looked down to see my stomach, and he's like, oh my gosh, and would run off. So no one could tell I'm pregnant from the back, but once they get around, it's just like out to here, big stomach. Not so much with Peach. She was a 9-pound baby, so it was all around. You could tell all around I was pregnant. And it was funny because I wasn't as energetic as I was with Puka Bear, and so when she came out and the doctor said, oh, she's 9 pounds, I didn't believe it, for one. And then my mom, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were just being lazy. I didn't know she was that big. Hello. You didn't see I was a significant difference with my pregnancies. And then also, as far as labor and delivery, were such a breeze. With Puka Bear, I was in labor pretty much the whole weekend. My mom and I went and painted pottery. It was not an issue. I'm just walking around, stopping every couple of minutes just to breathe. We did that on Saturday. So finally on Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, it's time for us to go. So we get to the hospital that morning, and she was out 3:15 in the afternoon. I took epidural, but by the time it was time to push, it had only affected one side. So I was still feeling everything, but it wasn't that bad. With Peach, on the other hand, excuse me, I always get a runny nose around this time of doing my videos because I get hot. But with Peach, I remember my mucus plug, which those who don't know who that is, imagine a balloon and your baby is inside there, and the plug is what plugs up the balloon. So once that comes out, that means the baby's going to be coming out soon because there's nothing else to keep that in there. So my plug came out about 3 in the morning. I texted my mom and I said, this just happened. And she said, okay. And then later on, she's like, well, what is that? So I had to explain to my mom what that was, because obviously she had never experienced that with me and my siblings. And by 7, I got in my car and I drove from my house to my mom's house. And I would say it was a 45-minute drive. And it's all highway. I'm driving, my contractions were 7 minutes apart, and I'm just driving and accelerating with every contraction and passing all these hospitals. Why, you ask? Because that was the plan that I had in my head, that I was going to go to my mom's house and we go to the hospital together. Get to my mom's house. Well, actually, I'm going down the street to where my mother's neighborhood is, and my water breaks. And it was just so funny. I get out of the car at my mom's house, and then, and I'm just, okay. So that is what happened, because it never happened with my first pregnancy. So we get to the hospital around the same time, 10 o'clock, and she was out at 3:30 that afternoon. So they're both very quick. The same thing happened with the epidural, as far as it not going on one side, and I was still fine with it. I mean, if I'd gone that long, without it, I actually had thought about doing this third one with no meds at all. So we'll see how that goes. And said everything went pretty fast. So I think I would have to answer the question. Sorry, I was rambling on about my stories. To answer the question, I think I would have to consider having my own kids first to see how the pregnancy experience is before I could decide to do that for someone else. So I would wait first to have my own children and see how that is, because you never know what kind of complications could arise from being pregnant. What if you're a surrogate, you don't have any children of your own, and something happens and you can never have your own kids? So I think that's something I would consider first before deciding to be a surrogate if you don't have your own kids. Other question is, how many surrogate journeys do you plan on doing? When I first went into doing this and how smooth and how easy it was, I thought, oh, I can do this again. This is going to be easy. But it's not easy. And because it's taken so long, and with everything going on in my personal life, I'm not sure I could put myself, my friends, and my family through another one of these, which is very heartbreaking, because I do like being able to do this for someone, but it's almost kind of where doing something for someone else is kind of causing me issues, kind of. I don't really want to say it that way, but I don't really know another way to put it. But I would consider it again, maybe later on, once things are a little more stable for me, as they were in the beginning of this journey. So I might consider it again, but it would just be a while. Do I want any more kids? That's a hard one. Considering that, let's see, I'm very happy with my 2. If I one day get married and my husband wants some, then fine, that, I will. But not until then. I'm very adamant about that. I'm not having any more children until I'm at least married first. And that's a promise that I made to God and to my kids and to myself, because they deserve that, I deserve that, and that's just what I want to do. Next question is, I'm sorry. Okay. No, I haven't done my 4th try yet. We're actually working on that right now. I won't know. I'm sorry. I just had my biopsy Wednesday. Today is Friday. And I won't get the results back from that until sometime next week. And then we'll know whether they need to tweak my meds a little bit, or if maybe I might not be responding to it. So I think we will try a 4th time. Just not quite sure yet when. And, first of all, the biopsy. I don't know what I had thoughts going on in my head. I thought it was just going to be some horrible minor surgery type thing. I thought I was going to have to get dropped off, picked up, and, I was going to be given shots to numb me or something. No, all I did was just swab my uterus. It took like 30 seconds. And it was pretty funny because I was all scared going in there. I couldn't sleep the night before. I was really nervous. Yeah, like I said, the things your mind creates when you don't have all the information. So that was that. So I'll find out